Good evening and welcome to Express News. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Let's begin with the stories. India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval hosted 7th meeting of the Colombo Security Conclave National Security Advisors in New Delhi on Thursday, bringing together key regional partners to strengthen security cooperation in the Indian Ocean region. NSA Ajit Doval noted that ocean is our biggest heritage, urged for enhanced maritime cooperation between countries joined by shared maritime geographies. Janata Dal United Chief Nitish Kumar took oath as the Chief Minister of the Eastern Indian state of Bihar for a record 10th time on Thursday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and other prominent leaders of the NDA attended the swearing-in ceremony in Patna. Prime Minister Modi congratulated Nitish Kumar on taking oath as Chief Minister of Bihar. PM further extended best wishes to all those who have taken oath as ministers in Bihar government. He said that this is a wonderful team with dedicated leaders who will take Bihar to new heights. The National Investigation Agency (NIA) has arrested 4 more prime accused in the November 10th blast outside Delhi's Red Fort, taking the total arrest in the case to 6. The latest arrests were made in Srinagar on production warrants from Patiala House Court. Prime Minister Modi will be visiting Johannesburg, South Africa from 21st to 23rd November to attend the 20th G20 Leaders Summit. This will be the 4th consecutive G20 summit held in the Global South. Addressing the media, MEA Secretary ER Sudhakar Delera said the summit will be important for India for the continuity of its priorities after having hosted a successful presidency in 2023. Australia's Foreign Minister Penny Wong held talks with Indian counterpart Dr. S. Jaishankar on Thursday in New Delhi. Speaking at the 16th India-Australia Foreign Ministers Framework Dialogue, Dr. Jaishankar said that the dialogue reflects the trust, democratic values and common vision for a free, open and secure Indo-Pacific. Penny Wong earlier attended the songlines tracking the Seven Sisters exhibition in New Delhi's Humayun's Tomb Museum on Thursday. On the sidelines of the event, Wong met India's para-athletes at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in New Delhi, underlined the growing partnership between the two nations. India's Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal addressed the India-Israel Business Summit alongside Israeli counterpart Nir Barkat on Thursday. He highlighted India's growth trajectory despite challenging situations both internally and globally. President Draupadi Murmu graced the Janjatiya Gaurav Divas celebration on Tribal Pride Day on Thursday at Ambikapur in Chhattisgarh. Addressing the event, President said that the development of tribal communities and development of nation are complementary to each other. India's Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Nirmala Sitharaman, chaired the 10th pre-budget consultation with representatives of trade unions and labour organisations in New Delhi on Thursday, ahead of the forthcoming Union Budget 2026-27. India's Minister for Electronics and Information Technology, Ashwini Vaishnav, attended the Bloomberg New Economy Forum in Singapore on Thursday. India is set to host the Bloomberg New Economy Forum in October 2026 in New Delhi. Minister Ashwini Vaishnav informed that India's semiconductor chip-making capabilities are set to be at par with other major producers by the year 2032. This showcases government's urge to strengthen domestic manufacturing. Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, Chief of the Naval Staff, visited National Defense University in Washington, D.C. as part of his official tour to the United States. During the visit, CNS Tripathi interacted with U.S. Vice Admiral Peter A. Gavin, who is the president of NDU. The Indian Army has achieved a major milestone in its push for Atmanirbharta with 97% of special clothing and mountaineering equipment for troops in super high altitude areas now fully indigenized. India's Finance Ministry has flagged reports of fake ED summons as the agency rolls out QR-coded system-generated notices for easy verification. To counter this, ED now issues system-generated summons with a QR code and a unique passcode. India's Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Bhupinder Yadav, said Mukhi, the first Indian-born female cheetah aged 33 months, has given birth to 5 cubs. In the first time in recent history that an Indian-born cheetah has reproduced, making it a landmark achievement for Project Cheetah. Indian benchmark indices ended on a strong note on Thursday, with Nifty up by 139.50 points at 26,192.15. At close, Sensex was up 446.21 points at 85,632.68. And the Indian rupee depreciated 23 paise to close at 88.71 against the US dollar on Thursday. Gold futures maturing on 5th December was priced at 1,22,630 per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. And silver futures for 5th December maturity stood at 1,54,845 rupees per kilo on the MCX. India has hit a record defence production of 1.54 lakh crore rupees in 2024-25, while defence exports have surged to 23,622 crore rupees from under 1,000 crore rupees in 2014. Brent crude oil futures rose to $64.14 per barrel on Thursday. Meta is notifying users aged 13 to 15 that their accounts will be blocked from December 10th as Australia's new age restriction rules come into effect. Nvidia posted earnings that beat market expectations, with revenue jumping 62% to a record $57 billion. These gains come from strong global demand for AI and data center chips. The performance eased fears of an AI bubble. Ukraine's Prime Minister Yulia Svyrydenko met top United States military officials in Kiev on Thursday, including Secretary of US Army Daniel Driscoll. Meanwhile, European foreign ministers have reiterated that any plan to end the conflict in Ukraine must include Ukrainians and Europeans. The reaction comes at their meeting in Brussels after the US floated a framework that would involve Kiev giving up some of its land and weapons and curbing the size of its army. The Kremlin said that any peace plan for Ukraine would have to eliminate the root causes of the conflict, that though there were conflicts with the United States, there were currently no formal negotiations with Washington on such a plan. A Russian drone strike on Ukraine damaged residential building in Ternopil on Thursday. Ukrainian President Zelensky said 22 people are still missing at the site. French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in Mauritius on Thursday for an official visit, the first by a French head of state since François Mitterrand in 1990. Macron will call on President Dharam Gokul and hold one-on-one meeting with Prime Minister Navin Ramgoolam. US President Donald Trump has signed the bill demanding that the Justice Department releases its files on the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. US Attorney General Pamela Bondi has vowed absolute transparency in releasing classified Jeffrey Epstein files following President Donald Trump's commitment to public disclosure. The United Nations nuclear watchdog 35-nation Board of Governors passed a resolution on Thursday saying Iran must inform the watchdog without delay of the status of its enriched uranium stock and bombed atomic sites. Taiwan President Lai Ching-te showed his support for Japan on Thursday with the launch of Japanese-sourced sushi after China indicated it would ban all imports of the country's seafood. South Korea's Culture Ministry said on Thursday China has notified the country it would be postponing a trilateral meeting of culture ministers with Japan scheduled for this month. 5 people were gravely injured after 2 passenger trains crashed near Prague on Thursday, while 40 others were mildly injured. Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Bhupender Yadav, delivered the keynote address and called for united global action on energy security for small island developing states, SIDS, at the International Solar Alliance Leadership Session held on the sidelines of COP30 in Belém, Brazil. Bhupender Yadav also represented India at the 11th Joint Crediting Mechanism Partner Countries meeting on the sidelines of COP30, where he highlighted the importance of cooperative mechanisms at a time when the world seeks scalable, equitable and technology-driven climate solutions. Turkey will host next year's UN Climate Summit, while Australia will lead negotiations under a compromise taking shape in Brazil. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said on Thursday that COP meetings are the world's central forum for climate action. An agreement would end a long dispute after nations bid to host COP31 in 2022 and refused to withdraw. Bangladesh's Supreme Court reinstated the non-party caretaker government system for conducting national elections, overturning its 2011 verdict that had abolished the arrangement. The Madhesh Provincial Assembly of Nepal has dismissed Speaker Ramchandra Mandal after a 2/3 majority passed an impeachment motion. Opposition parties accused him of blocking their participation in key proceedings. In Nepal's Para district, a curfew has been imposed for a second day after clashes between local youth and cadre of the Communist Party of Nepal, Unified Marxist-Leninist. The clashes broke out on Wednesday when youth confronted the CPN-UML members. Kosovo Prime Minister Albin Kurti's ruling party failed to secure enough parliamentary votes to form a government, pushing the country towards a snap election. And it came first in an inconclusive election in February, but has failed to perform the government so far. And we're heading for a short break. There's more coming up.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. Let's continue. A cold snap brought snow and ice to parts of the UK as snow blanketed parts of Scotland. Flurries were also seen around wind turbines in Northern Ireland as the Met Office issued yellow warning for snow and ice. Germany is seeing an early start to winter with frost and snow. Cold weather is expected to continue into late November and early December. Chilean authorities found the bodies of 5 tourists who died in snowstorm at Torres del Plan. They got lost near the Los Perros camp during a severe whiteout. Air Force helicopters in Chile airlifted bodies of identification. Teams also rescued stranded tourists from Dixon Camp as harsh weather continued. Hundreds were evacuated in Indonesia's Java after Mount Semeru erupted. Officials warn that volcano has calmed, but activity is still shifting. The first snow of the season has fallen in St. Georges-de-Mont, a small village in central France, covering its streets, market and countryside in white. 3 days of non-stop heavy rains has led to severe flash floods across the southern Thailand region. Disaster Prevention and Mitigation Department has issued its highest alert until 23rd of November. Dense fog and haze reduce visibility in the Sangam area of India's northern state, Uttar Pradesh's Prayagraj. Conditions slowed movement and made travel difficult as cold weather intensified across the region. According to India Met Department, strong cold wave is sweeping across central parts of the country. Chilly winds are pushing daytime temperatures down, making conditions colder than usual for November. Germany has returned 12 artifacts to Ethiopia in a ceremony in Addis Ababa. The items, including shields, crowns and paintings, reflect Ethiopia's royal heritage. Paraguay has launched its first dengue vaccination campaign, starting with children aged 6 to 8. London's Design Museum has opened Wes Anderson The Archives, featuring over 700 pieces, including the Grand Budapest Hotel model and the fantastic Mr. Fox puppets. British rock singer Mick Jagger made surprise visit to Dartford Grammar School and Mick Jagger Centre. The venue was opened in the year 2000 and is marking its 25th anniversary this year. Over 400 original puppets, props and personal items of the Jim Henson Company, including pieces from Fraggle Rock, The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, are going on auctions for the first time to mark the company's 70th anniversary. It is the first time authentic Henson puppets are being released to the public. The auction will be held on November 25th in Los Angeles and will be live streamed online. Hairdressers in Nigeria's Oyo state showcased rich Yoruba heritage with elaborate braids, beads and traditional accessories at cultural festival. Researchers have documented a massive spider web in the Sulphur Cave on the Albania-Greece border. The web covers over 100 square meters. In a French lab, scientists are testing how far messenger RNA technology can go beyond vaccines. They aim to develop a treatment for an aggressive form of cancer. A cafe in Germany is drawing attention with dishes made from grasshoppers, crickets and mealworms. The insect dishes have since become a hit with students and visitors. Asek Lake in eastern Turkey is now welcoming new migratory birds as temperatures drop. Greater white-fronted geese in western Russia have arrived to rest and feed alongside flamingos and other species. The Ebisu Shrine in Japan's Hiroshima is hosting its centuries-old festival, praying for prosperity in business. In Rajasthan divisional level, Ghumar festival was held in Bikaner, drawing large participation from local artists and spectators. The event showcased traditional Rajasthani dance and cultural performances. A special tribute was held in New Delhi to mark 53rd birth anniversary of music legend Zubin Garg. The event brought together dignitaries and fans for musical rendition and dance performances celebrating the late singer-composer's enduring legacy. Dalai Lama has earned his first Grammy nomination for his spoken word album Meditations. The project is nominated in the Best Audiobook and Storytelling category. The 56th International Film Festival of India, IFFI, opened in Goa on Thursday. The festival, running from November 20th to 28th, began with a grand opening parade. International Film Festival of India will host 15 competitive and curated segments, including international competitions, Creative Minds of Tomorrow, and Waves Film Bazaar. IFFI Waves Film Bazaar opened on Thursday. The Film Bazaar is India's premier film market, offering co-production opportunities and networking. Addressing the IFFI Waves Film Bazaar, MOS for Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Murugan highlighted Prime Minister Modi's vision for Waves and stressed that the bazaar's role in linking Indian cinema with global partners. Secretary of India's Information and Broadcasting, Sanjay Jaju, said the bazaar has a new look this year, shaped by Prime Minister Modi's craft to commerce approach. Bollywood actors Pulkit Samrat and Varun Sharma's film Rahu Ketu released its teaser on Thursday, will hit theatres on 16 January next year. Bollywood film Homebound moves to OTT platform after global acclaim, streaming in 190 countries from November 21st. Bollywood actor Pankaj Tripathi turns producer with Perfect Family. The teaser of the series was released on Thursday. The upcoming thriller How to Make a Killing, featuring Hollywood star Glenn Powell in the lead role, will release on February 20th next year. Vince Gill was honoured with the Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award at the 59th Annual CMA Awards in Nashville, acknowledging his legacy in country music. Let's turn to sports. Indian batting coach Sudhanshu Kotak said the team is still waiting to make a call on skipper Shubman Gill's participation in the Guwahati Test against South Africa, which starts on Saturday. South African bowling coach Piet Botha confirmed that they will wait for one more day before deciding on Kagiso Rabada's participation in Guwahati Test. The highly anticipated 2025-26 Ashes series is set to begin on Friday, with Australia and England set to face each other in Perth in the first test. Opening batter Jake Weatherald and pacer Brendan Doggett will make their test debut as Australia announced they are playing 11 for the first Ashes test. England head coach Brendan McCullum believes that reclaiming the Ashes on Australian soil would be a defining moment for England. South Africa side ended series on a high, defeating India A by 73 runs in the final ODI held in Rajkot on Wednesday. Rafael Nadal made a comeback to the tennis court on Wednesday, 12 months to the day since retiring from the sport. Novak Djokovic and Boris Becker were among host of tennis stars who paid tributes to the late Nikola Bilic at the Davis Cup in Bologna on Wednesday. Holders Italy marched into the Davis Cup semi-finals with a commanding 2-0 win over Austria in Bologna. Indian shuttler Lakshya Sen defeated Chinese Taipei Su Lingyang by a one-sided 43-minute game to advance to the second round in Australian Open Badminton 2025. And HS Prannoy, who is playing his second tournament on the BWF World Tour after overcoming injury, beat Indonesia's Johannes Sot. Former world number 1 Srikanth booked his place in the round of 16 after defeating Chinese Taipei's Li Xiahao in a thrilling battle that went over an hour. In Tokyo Deaf Olympics, Indian golfer Diksha Dagar came up with a superb 11 under in the final round to defend her gold medal at the Deaf Olympics on Thursday. Shooter Mahit Sandhu clinched silver medal in the 50-meter rifle prone event, also set a qualification world record with a score of 619.7. And Mexican cities Guadalajara and Monterrey will host the Intercontinental Playoffs for the World Cup 2026. With that, we conclude this edition of Express News. Namaskar.